Hey everybody, this is Monica. It might be a little loud. I'm actually outside at a park and I just really wanted to get this message out. So hopefully you guys can hear me, but I'm really not going to be on this video because I don't really need to be. You just kind of need to hear what I'm saying, and I just really don't want to be on there. But anyways, if any of you guys really know me, you know I'm into like my dreams and visions and all that stuff. And for years, like since I was probably 10, I've journaled my dreams and, tried to get interpretations on them and things like that. But for a while, like my dreams had stopped. Like I stopped having dreams. Well, I didn't stop having dreams, but I stopped having dreams that I felt meant something or that were interpretations. So I just recently, maybe 6 or 8 months ago, something like that, started back having dreams again, like really vivid dreams where I know that they mean something. And I've been getting them, but I've been just kind of holding back. I've been feeling like I should be sharing what I feel like the Lord is telling me, but people don't always accept you. Once people know you for whatever they know you for, they don't want to accept you as seeing you as something else. So if you're saying, well, I think the Lord told me to say this, they may not necessarily believe you or want to listen to what you have to say. So when I get these dreams and stuff, I do share them, but I only share them with people who I think that are going to be receptive of it. But now I know, like, the Lord is really just pushing me and vividly showing me, like, hey, like, I gave you this gift for a reason. I need you to step up. I need you to get what I'm telling you out there. So with that being said, I am going to give you details of a dream and the interpretation of the dream as I saw it. Yes, it was my dream, but I feel like the Lord is saying that this is a revelation for everybody. It's a revelation for everybody who's been through anything that I've been through, or who has something going on right now, who feels like they've been forgotten. God is saying, like, he has not forgotten any of us. Like, none of us, nothing that we've been through has been in vain. And that's why it's just really, really important for me to start sharing what the Lord has given me. So with that being said, I'm going to take a little drink here and get started. So the way I do it is, like, if I have a dream and I feel like the dream means something, I usually write it down. I haven't wrote my dreams down in years. Every now and again I will, but like not the avid way I used to do it when I was younger. And part of it was because I felt like none of those dreams came true. So it was like, why keep logging them? Which I regret now, but whatever. So anyway, one way that I channel interpretations for my dreams, or like when I say I feel like Spirit told me, is writing. So I either write in a journal or I use my laptop or whatever the case is. And I just kind of type out what it is I want to know. And as I'm typing out what I want to know in particular about the dream, or as I'm writing it out, I get the revelation of that section of the dream. Like if I say, why was this blue? If I'm writing that out, I'll understand while I'm writing that out why it was blue. So if you hear me typing, it's because I'm probably feeling the need to ask more questions on something. But most of this information that I'm about to give, I got the revelation already. It's already here in front of me. I can pretty much just read it. But if I feel urges to ask like additional questions, or if something comes up, then I may have to stop and type. But okay, so let me give you the details of the dream. So first off, I was in the dream. I was in my own body. I don't know if that means anything to any of you guys, but sometimes in my dreams, I'm in my own body where I don't see my face. I only see like my body, like how I live my normal day-to-day life. Other dreams, I see myself. It's like I'm looking at myself. In this particular dream, I was in my own body and I was looking out. I was looking out like across a little street in an unfamiliar neighborhood. But there was a man standing probably about 100 feet or more in front of me. He was standing at a corner. He wasn't on the sidewalk, but he was in the street, but very like close to the curb, like as if he was standing in the gutter. He was looking down at his watch, and I had this feeling like in the dream that he was perfectly timing something. He was perfectly waiting for something to happen. So I took notice that he was like dressed very well. He was like a distinguished gentleman. That's what came to me. Like, he's a distinguished gentleman. He's a wealthy man. But I heard the words ill-gotten gain. So I feel like this man, this distinguished wealthy gentleman, had gotten his money or had gotten his place in life by doing things that he shouldn't have been doing. Okay. I look behind him and there was a bus coming. I knew the bus was going to hit him. I knew, like my spirit knew this man was about to die. Like, I was like, he's about to die. He's going to get hit by this bus and he's going to die. But he didn't really seem concerned about it. And I remember in the dream just saying, no, I'm not taking on the trauma of watching somebody get hit by a bus. Now, like in the dream, I really didn't know I was in a dream, but obviously the real me was like, no, because, trauma is trauma and I don't want to have to work that off. So I was like, in the dream, I was like, no, I'm not going to go through the trauma of watching this. So I closed my eyes, but I literally only closed my eyes for a second. Like I blinked for a second and I opened my eyes back up, and the man that was standing on the corner was no longer standing on the corner. The bus was gone and he was dead. He was in a pile. His body parts had been cut up. And not like a bus wouldn't do that. Okay. Like a bus wouldn't put him in a pile. And the funny thing is he was in a pile on the corner of the sidewalk. So how I said that in the beginning, he was standing kind of like in the gutter, in this particular part of the dream, he was dead and he was cut up and he was in a pile and he was on the sidewalk, on the actual curb, on the corner. So his body parts were just kind of like all there. I did notice that there wasn't like blood anywhere, but except around the bottom of, where all the body parts were. It was like bloody body parts and blood on the ground under him, but like no streams of blood. So if somebody's like taking a machete and, cutting somebody up or something, you would see, lines of blood on the ground or whatever. But there was nothing. There was just the body parts and just the blood. And let's see. Okay, so when I saw him chopped up like that, like instantly, I knew. I was like, he didn't get hit by a bus, because a bus is not going to chop your body up into awkward shapes like that. So, I saw a vision of two swords, or two men with swords, just swinging their swords. So that overwhelmed me. It became too much, because then I got the visual like, oh, he didn't get hit by a bus. Two men came through and like literally sliced him up into pieces and then left him on the corner. It overwhelmed me and I woke up. That made me wake up. I woke up and my heart was pounding and I was just like, okay, all right. So I started asking like about the dream, like, what is this? What does this dream mean? So when I started interpreting it, this is what I got. Okay. So I mentioned that I was looking out at myself. And I asked, like, okay, so why was I looking out at myself? Because I don't know why, but a lot of my dreams, I'm looking at myself. I'm not myself. But I was like, well, why was I? Oh, hummingbird. I love hummingbirds. Sorry. And it's right here, like in front of me. Yeah, like, okay, so that's just a sign just telling me that this is the truth. I'm on the right track. I got it. Okay. Anyway, I asked why I was in the dream as myself, like looking out of my own body. And I was told it's because it was a direct message. Like God, the Lord wanted to give me a direct message, like to let me know you're going to see this. Like not to say I'm going to be physically on the street watching somebody get slaughtered, but it's like the Lord was saying, you're going to see this in the physical, in your physical body that you have now. You will see this happen. This is going to come to pass. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Um, um, let's see here. Oh yeah, also, and it was like the hammer. I saw the hammer, like the hammer of the Lord is coming down. So it's like you're gonna be present when the hammer of the Lord comes down, but you will always be protected by the blood. Like, so this is for those who know they're protected. Like, I mean, the chosen ones, God's chosen ones, the ones that He's coming back for. Okay, so you'll you will be able to see this. But like I said, I closed my eyes in the dream, so I blinked and it was over. So it was almost like I asked the Lord, like, I don't want to see that, but it's almost like I don't want to see it, and I'm not going to physically see it because I feel like the Lord's going to shield me from whatever is coming. And you guys and whoever this message is for, you're going to be shielded from whatever is coming, but you're going to be present for it. So I mean, I hope the dream means I won't necessarily be right in the middle like of it and seeing it, because I don't know if I can handle that. That's just a lot. But anyway, you're going to be covered by the blood. Okay. So breaking this stuff down, I asked about this distinguished gentleman. He portrays the men of the world who have done things, or like who've done wrong things, or to increase their fortune, those guys that cheat people. And hold on a second. Yeah, the guys that cheat people and do wrong, like living their life stress free, but causing all kinds of chaos in other people's lives. This is the distinguished gentleman. Now, please don't twist my words. Don't think I'm saying that everybody with money, or everybody, who's distinguished or wealthy or anything like that is a bad person. I'm not saying that, but this is only for people who have been waiting for the Lord to take revenge on their lives, like who have trusted the Lord when He says, revenge is mine, and did not go and do evil things to people who did evil things to them. Revenge is coming. This is something that is coming. And it's like the Lord's way of saying, these people that think they got away with this stuff, they didn't get away with anything. They didn't get away with nothing. God saw everything, and He's coming in, and He's going to drop that hammer, and it's going to be a sight to see, a horrible sight to see. Okay. So with this distinguished gentleman here, the reason why this man was so happy, like I said, he was kind of happy. He was like, yeah, like he had no cares in the world. Like he was stress free. And like I said, he was, my legs are falling asleep. He was timing something. Okay. So it's like, he was like, yeah, everything's working out and blah, blah, blah. But, what he was doing, he feels like he had completed some sort of cycle or a project, and he was on his way to get like a big payout. Okay. The Spirit told me that in order for him to get his payout, he had to die. He had to become like a martyr and like sacrifice himself. But it's not like, oh, I'm going to take a gun and sacrifice myself, because that's obvious. It was like, I need to sacrifice myself so I die, but it needs to look like it's like a freak accident, or I died in a sad way, because then I die a hero. Because this distinguished gentleman, what I was getting from him is that he robbed, hurt, and killed many people. If he would have died by bus, that's like he would have left a good mark. Like he would have died a saint, because no one would have known what he was up to. Feel like there's like people in the community or something that looked up to him. Maybe he helped people with money. Like maybe he was a financial backbone to somebody or something like that. But that was all an act. It was like a cover up to who he really was. He had done a lot of bad things, and he was just planning to leave this entire mess that he had created for somebody else to take the fall. And he was moving forward to his reward, which when it was coming to me, this part of the interpretation, like he was moving forward to his reward. It was like his reward in heaven. So almost like he felt like, I'm going to do all this stuff so I can make it in heaven. But then I heard the scripture, a camel cannot walk. I mean, a camel will walk through the eye of a needle before a rich man gets into heaven. So it gave me the feeling like this man had did all these things to try to get into heaven. Like he did all these bad things, and then he tried to correct the bad things by doing good things, but he did good things for people with the bad things that he, like with the stuff that he got from doing bad things. So it's not, he wasn't doing anything for anybody. He was like robbing people and then making himself look like a saint, giving it away or helping or whatever it was that he was doing. I don't know if he heard or got word or something that martyrs go to heaven. I'm sorry if I talk fast, because as I'm reading my notes, I'm still getting information. Like Spirit is still giving me information, and it's a lot. And the way it comes, sometimes it's very fast, and I may not understand everything. And I'm trying to make you understand it the way I understand it, but just kind of, I hope you understand. So he had to sacrifice himself. So he heard he had to be a martyr, like dying for what he thought was right. But his religion or something, I don't want to say his religion, his background, his upbringing, his beliefs, his faith. Yeah, one of those. He had a certain way of believing he should be, or people should be. And I believe that all these bad things that he did, it's coming through as if he did these bad things as part of his belief. So he did it thinking that he was doing good things, okay, in a way. Okay, new information coming in here. He did it in a way that, okay, so he's trying to get himself into heaven by doing good things, but he's doing good things with the stuff that he obtained in a bad way, when all he had to do was just repent. And I don't want to say repent, because people will take that as a religious thing, and this message is for everybody. You don't have to be a Christian or whatever to listen to what I'm saying. Like, this is for people like who have been done wrong. Like, vengeance is coming. Like, I just have to get this out here. Okay, so he thought he was doing it for the right reasons. I guess maybe he found out he was doing it for the wrong reasons, and then he tried to correct it. But all he had to do was say, I messed up, I did this, but he refused. Like, he didn't want to take the blame. So more. Okay, so I just saw arrows in every direction. So I get this feeling like this man did not even know what he wanted to do. Like, he was doing so much stuff, possibly to cover up whatever it was that he was doing. So I see this man just turning in a bunch of different directions, just constantly moving, pivoting in different directions. Oh, this didn't work, this didn't go this way, go this way, go this way, go this way. So he was just doing anything he could to correct this, except for the right thing, which is to just ask for forgiveness. Confess what he did, give it back or fix it with the people he did it to, and then move forward. But he didn't want to do that. His pride, he was prideful. Okay, so I only asked for I asked why I only blinked for like a split second, right? And then they basically, Spirit confirmed, like, hey, like right before that you said you didn't want to see that, so we made it happen in a blink of an eye is really what I got. Like, we made it happen so that when you opened your eyes, it was done. You didn't have to watch that. So this is a message for you guys, telling you, like, no matter what, you're going to be protected. Don't worry about enduring anything that you think you don't want to endure, because like I said, I'm looking at this man and I'm like, oh, he's going to get hit by a bus. I don't want to traumatize myself and see that. And Spirit immediately granted that for me. So that's another message. Like, no matter what you see or no matter what you're going through, just know that you're divinely protected. You're going to be protected. Just ask, speak it out, say what it is that you need or what you want. Okay. I asked why he was cut up, okay? Because I know a bus would not cut you up, okay? So this is what I got. I'm just going to read it so I don't bounce all over because this message is already 20 minutes long. Okay, I asked him why was he cut up because the bus wouldn't do that. Okay, the answer that came was that he wanted to take the easy way out. He wanted to die a saint after all he had done. But vengeance has always been and always will be the Lord's. He was not going to be allowed to march in with the saints and receive any big payout because he had his riches on earth. Okay. I heard he thought he could buy his way into heaven. The Lord saw, wait a minute, hold on. The Lord saw things that others didn't see. This is the Lord's way of showing me that this person will pay for what they're doing or what they have done. And not just me, but you guys as well. He thought he was going to die in a freak accident, but the Lord said no. When you live by the sword, you die by the sword. A team was sent to literally assassinate this man. Men with swords came in, chopped him to pieces in the blink of an eye. He was trying to perfectly time his own death, but the Lord sent a team to move in swiftly and wreck his plans. I heard that his life was being taken, not given. He wanted to give his life as a sacrifice. He thought he was going to beat the system, so to say. Not that there's a system, but he thought he was going to beat the system and take his own life and be a sacrifice. But God was like, no, you're not going to be a sacrifice. I'm taking your life. I'm taking it from you. Therefore, you giving it to get whatever it is that you thought you were going to get after you gave it, you're not getting that because no. And then this is another thing too. The Lord is like always on time. He came in at the precise moment. This man was timing his own death so that he could leave earth as a saint. Okay, also there was some other stuff in here too, that he had got involved with other people and he got other people involved in his mess. Okay, so what he was doing is he was going to leave a mess for other people to clean up. So if there was something being done illegally that was going to send somebody to jail or anything like that, he was leaving that for other people. He was going to die a saint and people were going to praise him, and all these other people were going to take the fall for whatever he had done, and he was going to cross over and have whatever this big payout or this big reward is that he was hoping to get. Okay. He just wanted to be a martyr. He wanted but not in the way, I'm sorry, some birds were flapping and I was like wondering what that noise was. Let's see here. What was I talking about? Okay, I don't know what I was talking about, but I'm just going to go ahead and keep on reading. So the reason why he wanted to die in like a sad way, he wanted to be a martyr, but like a good martyr, like like Joan of Arc, or one of those people that like everybody gives accolades to for what they've done. However, he was supposed to be like a martyr where they burned you or they hung you, like that kind of martyr, which is, it's kind of weird because I know people have issues with hangings and things like that, but at this, all these bugs crawling on my laptop. At the same time, I heard that this man, motorcycle. I heard that this man believed that when you died, the way you died, people viewed the way you died as the type of person you were. So, like in the Salem witch trial days, how they just like pointed out people and accused them of being witches and they just burned them. So they were like, oh, they burned them at the stake because they were witches. Or for instance, in the not slavery days, but back before civil rights, and then, oh, this guy raped this girl, so we're gonna hang him. Just almost kind of like just people on the street accusing people and them killing them. Like, he didn't want to die like that because his belief was like there was no empathy or sympathy. I don't know what the difference is between them, but there was no equal. So it was like in his world, if somebody died in a bad way, they deserved it. That's what he believed. So he didn't want to die in a bad way because he felt like if I die in a bad way, people are going to believe I was a bad person, that I deserved it. So he was trying to time his own death so that he could look like a saint and not be viewed as the person that he was, the monster that he was. This is a lot. Oh, okay. Alrighty. All right, I'm going to do a second part just in case.